All right, as always, here's the risk disclosure. Trading futures is risky. Know what you're doing before you do it, and you can lose all your money. Also, this live stream is not financial advice. It is for educational purposes only, and the live stream is not intended to copy my trades. Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Morning. All right, let's see what we have going on here today. Let's see. Yeah, I have Hans. I have the start time on the title. I usually start right at about 8:10 a.m. Eastern time. All right, let's see here. Let's refresh these flux levels and dynamic magnets. Good morning. Bon dia. Morning, Vegas. Bill, Jean. All right. Nikita, hey, good morning. See what we got going on here. First thing I'm noticing right off the bat. Check this out. 30-tick chart made a higher high here. We had some ODD up here at the top. What do we have here? Third bar swing, TBS. At a higher high, made a nice run down. So that would be marked as a level, a wall there. Yep, that is a wall. So that'll probably go up as a cyan wall here soon, or at some point. So I'm going to mark it myself so I don't forget until a wall is added there. We'll see how it reacts if it comes back up there. But it ran down a good amount of ways, enough to call it, put a wall there. Let's see, that's 11:086.25. Yeah, I don't have a dynamic. I have a dynamic magnet right under it, a little bit. I just refreshed. Let me refresh them again. Oh yeah, that's where I have mine, Chris. Yeah, 085. Yep, cool. Wrong thing.
Potential TX on NQ. Potential set of A on NQ. Double cluster NQ.
There we go. All right, there we go. Got my wall put in there. 86. Yep. Now we do have a simplicity long going, but it's headed right up into that chop. Man, sorry, I got that congestion still coming up. Yeah, that's the bad thing about. I have 5 monitors, but I have one up top. Well, I have them stacked on each other. And the bad thing is because I have the microphone, I have this microphone right here, just like sitting on my desk. So when I look up, I'm afraid you're not going to be able to hear me. And because I don't like wearing headsets really. I just feel like if it's on my ears, it's just, I don't know. I'm not big on the headsets. To have a mic, that would probably be best. But
Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ. A on NQ.
yeah, I noticed that earlier, Dan, the divergence, but then it turned into chop on the 50 tick. See, we had clear divergence, and I was looking to see if we had a JFT. You can see the move up, pull back, higher high, clear divergence, where the DR is up here, then it's down here. I mean, that's extremely clear. That would be a perfect JFT. But then it turned into we're on our 6th bar of chop here. And then it did not give us the mini magnet on the 30 tick. But definitely clear divergence. So it did turn into chop, but we'll see what happens here. It might want to push down, especially if this bar closes down with this mini magnet here. It may want to push down. Yeah, Jeff, if you look that level you're calling out, the 11036, we do have a crash. If you scroll back, there's that crash. And if you look left, there was that cluster there as well. Keep looking left. That was another crash area. It was pretty close. It actually wasn't on top of each other, but you had the purple ZOI here. Then it turned into this teal ZOI with the yellow cluster. Then a little further down, pulled back right to it, laid a crash, and actually had HD there. So, yeah, if it comes back down to that area here, I would expect, I would definitely expect some hesitation for sure. Which it might be attracted to that area. We have that TBS back here. Now, if this bar closes short with this mini magnet, that could be the push down, as well as the divergence that was on the 50 tick chart. Yeah, it looks like that was just under the 0.7 dev from yesterday. Yep, good catch on those. So right now, so this bar did close down with that mini magnet and a paw, actually, and a red absorption X. So, and simplicity looks like it wants to go short. So we'll see if it can break this little area, because if you look left, all the way left, we had all this mess over here, right? So we can expect some hesitation. So we'll see if it breaks below this or not. So since we are expecting hesitation here to go to break this to go short, I'm going to wait for it to break probably this ZOI here. And then it would be nice to let it run down and see what happens at that crash, where it was a crash. Or if it goes long, maybe, because if it goes long, if it breaks this dev, it might want to go test that TBS, this area up here. So we'll see if it goes long. I have to kind of see what's going on before I take a long. Let's see, where, just under 11. Okay, so here's 86. Oh. 92. Oh, 86.25. I added that wall onto my 30 tick chart. I don't have walls on my 30 tick. There we go. Now it's copied over to all my charts. Yeah, Jeff, I'm still only looking for LREs. Back to my bread and butter. Yeah, it's not great right now. So especially if it goes long, I'm not really going to get much of any signals or anything because we have so much above. Because right now, if I'm looking on the simplicity chart, we kind of have a top going. Back here at this dynamic magnet where it got rejected to the left. So I wouldn't want to take anything in between that. And then if it breaks above that, let's see, that is, yeah. And if it breaks above that, then we're getting into that area where the TBS and all that other stuff is. So I kind of need this to run. Kind of need this to run above that TBS for me to go long. So actually it would be nice if it broke the TBS, ran long, pulled back and tested the TBS. Then I'll take a LRE long off of it. We'll just see. I mean, we have elections today too. So it might be kind of a weird morning. Just might be another boring morning. Who knows? Yeah, those TBSs, a solid TBS, that's what Lori makes her walls off of. The TBSs and ICRs. If you don't know what an ICR, it's an institutionally controlled reversal. And that's also a mini magnet formed on the 30 tick. And she teaches this in the sharpshooter course on how she makes their walls. So, yeah, it'd just be like the first test of the TBS is always where she used to take her low risk bounces. So those are usually always going to be a nice bounce the first time. And then just after that, it's just a regular, like a wall. I apologize. Today I'm getting this congestion coming up. I have to keep clearing my throat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're on our 7th bar of chop on the 50 tick. And I don't know if y'all remember, on the 50 tick, when we have this many 4 or more bars of chop, I look for the 50 tick to break out, either up or down, long or short. And once that bar closes, then I like it to run a little bit. Then it'll usually pull back and retrace some and then go in either direction. That's usually how it'll look whenever it does a breakout. Like back here, for example, we have these 4 bars. It'll close up. Then on this bar, it'll pull back usually somewhere around here, and then it'll go. For the most part, that's how it usually does. Not always, but it'll usually have a bar close, a little pullback, and then go. And on that little pullback, that's where I like my LREs. John taught that on a video that he has about the 50 tick continuum chart. I am getting old. So right now, I'm not really looking for much at this moment until it breaks short. I'd rather it go short, really. Let's see.
Potential set of A, set of B on NQ.
11,094. Yeah, because back where we had that previous high before the TBS, that was the high of the day. So I would prefer this to go short. Yeah, Lance, from just the naked eye, I guess, looking at, you see a lot going on, but it really tells a whole story because it's all based on order flow. So it's just a different way of displaying order flow. But there's really just a handful of things you need to memorize, just what each line is. And once you know that, and it just becomes, extremely, really simple of reading, of knowing what it is. And then at that point, you're just reading what, kind of trying to put together the picture of what it's telling you. But yeah, at the beginning, I remember when I first started looking at this, I'm like, what the heck is going on? There's so many things, so many lines. But I just treated it like school. I took a notepad, wrote everything down, kind of colored in stuff, and just had a little cheat sheet and memorized everything that was on the chart. And like I said, it's really just a handful of stuff. So once you know it, then that's really it. So I guess really I've only had trading futures one election, the presidential election, and that whole week ate me alive. I really didn't know what I was doing too much, and it was just kind of weird. The markets acted weird. So this is my, midterm. I guess this is going to be my first one of those, because I started March of 2020. And so yeah, I guess, at this point, we'll just see. I don't know really what to expect. If it stays like this, then guess come back tomorrow. Yeah, Lance, you do get 60 days for $1. The first 30 is free. The first 30 days is free. The second 30 days is $1. And that's really, you're not going to, I guess you can get pretty in-depth details on learning it, but that's going to be, and they open everything up to you, for you to learn. But that's really to get an idea if you think it'll be for you or not. And then, because I mean, I'm still learning stuff, so it's just a constant learning for sure. And then, it does go up. NQ Lorex. Oh, yeah. Right off that wall and I block on the 30 tick, the institutional block. Yeah, you started just barely a couple months before me. I thought because I remember you saying 2019, and I felt like it wasn't, but I wasn't sure. Because I remember when I started in March, and then I guess I got to know you, because I think it was towards the end of March, so it's probably in April, whenever I started really chatting, and then I could have swore you were probably there for a few months. So, yeah, probably. Because I originally discovered Apex in 2018, but through Nadex. And I didn't even use Apex. I just used them for their their Nadex scanner. And then I stopped using that. And then Daryl kept sending his emails. And I tried to unsubscribe to the emails because I'm like, I'm not interested in trading. I'm horrible at trading. And then one day when I was at home, when COVID shut everything down, I got another email at the perfect timing. And I saw it. I said, dang, this Apex thing, I can't get off the email. And the subject was how I made 12 grand at night from my house. And I was like, well, that's interesting because I'm looking for a way to make money from home. We're locked down at home. So then I checked out the boot camp, and that was history. So thankfully, I was never taken off the email list. Yeah, I only trade NQ probably 99% of the time. ES is just way too slow for me, and I can read NQ much better. And plus the setups that I take, we really need, volatility in the market. Every now and then, if NQ is just crazy, too crazy, really crazy, which sometimes it gets that way, then I'll jump over to YM, where it's a little slower, but not as slow as ES. Yeah. Me too, Dan. ES has been... I don't really like ES. I did have a nice little run one time, but I was taking sniper trades, ETXs, and HDs when NQ, before I was doing LREs, and NQ is so crazy. So I went to ES for like 2 weeks, and I had a nice run there that time, but that was probably my only time I did good on ES. I actually started out trading on ES because, like I said, I started when COVID happened, so the markets were crazy, and Apex was recommending just to go on ES. So the first thing I ever traded was ES for many months. Call it extra slow. All right, let's see. This simplicity is long right now. Let's see if it wants to actually go long. 30 tick chart is showing a bar closing up with a mini magnet. We just had one close up with a mini magnet. So let's see if this pushes it out of this chop and wants it to go long. Lori taught me this when she basically took me under her wing, is to read the mini magnets. Mini magnets are so powerful. They tell a lot of what's going on. But let's see if this closes up. We need it to close at 11:073.25. There it goes. See if this pushes up. All right, it's pushing up to that previous top where the dynamic magnet is. Now it's hitting it with a dynamic magnet ZOI, red eye block that eye zone that it left here to the left. So let's see if it breaks. It's looking like it wants to break. And then for some reason it's not printing. There's a mini magnet right here from the 30 tick and where the ZOI is that it's hitting now. Now it's going up and testing the third bar sling. So this is a nice push long. Now let's see what it does right here. See, if Lori had a low risk bounce there, it would have won. See, it bounced right off that TBS. Made another crash here. You can see it on my simplicity chart right above this dynamic magnet. Well, good job. Glad that turned you green. Done for the day. Nice. Yeah, that was a good push up. That mini magnet on the 30 tick bar, when that bar closed up, especially with the one right before it, laying a mini magnet, that's a strong signal that this was the push. This was the one to break out.
Potential TX on NQ. Trap borders with exhaustion box on NQ.
The 30 tick is trying to lay a mini magnet on top of this crash, which would be interesting if it does, because that means it would break above the TBS on the 30 tick chart. And at this point, I wouldn't mind it breaking that TBS on the 30. That way it can run further long and come back and test it and give me a LRE long off of the TBS. The only thing is that if we do continue long, then we're heading up towards 11,000, which has that dynamic magnet wall right below. And that'll be the high of the day. A blue box? What do you mean a blue box? Oh, a TX? No, I'm talking about the TBS on the 30 tick chart from early this morning that I made it a wall. Yeah, 712, that TBS. That's no, there's no TX or nothing on it. No, you don't. For the 30 tick chart for the TBSs and ICRs, you don't need a TX on it. No, you don't need a TX on it to make it a wall. It can just be, you don't even need an Xbox on it. As long as it has the mini mag, you're just looking at the mini magnets. Yeah, so I'm trying to see what it's going to happen here. This is a... See, now it's laying a cluster on the 30 tick. Yeah. Let's see if it goes here. It'd be best to get a short from here. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it does break, then I would be looking for an LRE when it comes back to test the TBS. Because if it breaks it long, then it more than likely would come back to test it for sure. It would be my expectation. $396 HD right now. I don't have HD on my 30 tick. Let me make sure I'm matching the room chart. Yeah, Chris, my charts match the room chart. I'm not seeing any HD. I don't have any HD. Yeah, there's no HD right now. All right, Simplicity just crossed. Let's see if it goes short. Like I said, I would actually like a short below this crash here to take down to the deviation level if it gave a short. Or if it goes long here, I'd like it to clearly break this TBS long and then come back and test it. Hi, Ren. Hey, how's it going? No, I wasn't looking for an LRE there. Because, I mean, Simplicity was going sideways on me. And then it pulled back into, I mean, it just got real choppy. A lot of clusters. There's not a lot of room. There wasn't a lot of clear room for me to go up. I mean, I like that ZOI crash that it pulled back to right here. This area here. But just going back up through all this junk, I don't trust that. But now we are breaking that TBS. So let's see if it keeps going. Yeah, once Simplicity goes sideways, I'm usually out on an LRE unless if it gives me something really nice. I mean, I'm still, like, for example, I really liked this crash on top of this dynamic magnet. So that would have been an area I was looking at. But if it didn't have all this mess in front, and like let's say it was setting up, I don't know, a potential Lorax or ETX right here, and we were still down in this area, then even though it started going sideways, that is a signal where, you know, you could take it. It can give you more confidence. So unless if it's something like that, then I won't take it if it's going sideways. But I was really looking at this TBS to see what it wanted to do here from the 30 tick chart, if it wanted to go and break it, or if it was going to kind of chop around like it did and then get rejected. So now that it's breaking above, it's looking like it wants to give another Simplicity long up here. The problem is, since it flipped red and did a reset on Simplicity, I'm not going to be able to get an LRE off the top of the TBS. Which is fine. Because now we're almost at the previous high of the day, which is 11,094. Right there. We're just under it.
Double cluster NQ. Potential setup A, setup B on NQ. Potential TX on NQ. clusters with exhaustion box on NQ. Setup A, setup B on NQ.
So if you're new here, new to my live stream, this is the Apex Investing Tools. This morning, where a lot of it is we're patient. I personally only take 1 to 3 trades during my session every morning. I trade from about 8:10 a.m. Eastern time till about 9:15, 9:20. And fair warning, the way the market's looking this morning, I might not get a trade, which I'm perfectly okay with that. Yeah. We'll see what happens, though. That's why they say we are paid to be patient. Also have a website. I'm still working on building building it up. It's futuressniperbeast.com. I try to keep the updates on the Apex sales there. You can sign up for the Apex Bootcamp to learn how to trade, all that good stuff. I'm still building it up. I want to have some more things on that to cater to a lot of people. Also document my trading journey, all that good stuff. Yeah, I like that, Jimmy. Patience. Pay.
Potential TX on NQ.
Yeah, Jeff, that's what maybe I should, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to disconnect my personal account from my trade copier. Oh, let's see. This is technically, no, it's not an LRE because we don't have a simplicity. I was going to say, this is HD that it just pulled back to this gap level in this dynamic magnet, but we're not in a valid simplicity. And it may, yeah, I think we're going to go short now because this, look at this right here. This bar closes down with this mini magnet at the previous high. This could push down short. If not, then I would expect some chop. Anyways, so yeah. Do you trade in the morning? Yeah, Ross, right now, because I'm in real estate. I'm in the real estate investing and lending area. So yeah, I work that throughout the day. So I trade 1 hour before the market opens. And that's kind of, I'm always going to kind of do trading and real estate hand in hand. But anyways, like I was saying, I'm going to go ahead and disconnect my personal NinjaTrader account because of these margins. Jeff, you were saying that you were having an issue, and I don't want to take a trade and then I get those pop-ups. A pop-up telling me that I can't take my trade. So I'm just going to not even trade my personal account today. I mean, it looks like I might not even get a trade anyways. Okay, let's see. Turned that off. Okay. Morning, David. Good job, Vegas. That's great. 2-0 yesterday. Patient, discipline. It's all we can ask for. Yeah, you can trade your personal accounts too. So what you do is you'll have to get you don't need a multi-broker license for that. What you do is you'll get a NinjaTrader license, and they'll give you their own license for your personal account, and then you'll use that license, and then you can still connect to, well, maybe AMP, but NinjaTrader brokerage, you don't need one, like Chris is saying. AMP, I'm not sure. I guess maybe you do, but NinjaTrader broker, you don't. You just use their license, and then you connect to both the CQG, the continuum data, and then you connect to Rhythmic's data, and then you can trade both. But yeah, AMP, not too familiar with them, so I'd take Chris's advice on that you'll need a multi-broker license. Yeah, Dan, that's why I trade mine as well. I mean, you just open up a brokerage account with NinjaTrader, your own personal account, and you could trade them both, copy them together. Yeah, there you go. John, if you have that lifetime license, that's all you need. There we go. So yeah, what Chris is saying, that anything outside of NinjaTrader brokerage, you need the multi-broker, which makes sense. Yeah, if anybody wants to sign up with the NinjaTrader license or the broker license and getting the platform, let me know. And if you're actually going to get it, send me a message, because I can get you a discount. I'm a vendor for their ecosystem, approved vendor. So let me know. I'll just need your name and email, and they'll send you a discount. For NinjaTrader. I'm an approved vendor for their NinjaTrader ecosystem. I got set up a few months back with them. For minis, yeah, they have their margin requirements, and depends on what market, if you're trading NQ or ES or what. For micro, I mean, all you need is $400 to open the account, but then, of course, you need the proper margin. I think for minis, NQ, if I remember right, well, normally you need $1,000 in the account to take or I think the account can't go under $1,000 to trade a mini for NQ. And I think ES is, I want to say 500 that you can't go under. So obviously, if you take a trade, you'd have to have a little more than that in there. And that's only one trade. So you would need a decent amount. Yeah, for MNQ, for micro, it's $100. But for the minis, it's $1,000 on NQ. Yeah, that 500 on the mini is for ES. All right, we're breaking long here. Let's see if this thing keeps going up. We have that low news now. Maybe that's what's giving that little push.
Double cluster NQ.
All right. If this wants to keep pushing long, then I would be looking for an LRE off this previous high that we have around.
Potential TX on NQ.
Depends how, if it starts chopping around up here. If it starts chopping around, then I won't. I'll need it to run a little further up though, around 11,110 or so, up in this area, and then pull back. Because right now, if it pulls back, I mean, it gave it early entry simplicity. There is a simplicity long that we're in, but it would need to pull back to this dynamic magnet here. But we do have a little bit of chop going on. Don't really love it. On the 10 tick, it's looking like it wants to lay a mini magnet on top of this wall. And it did. So I would not trust an LRE here where the solid line is right now to go long, because then you have to go back through this dynamic magnet and wall, through this other wall with a mini magnet on it, double clusters here to the left, and that's the current high of the day. So not loving that right now. I definitely want this to run long a little further before looking for an LRE. See, right here would be an entry for an LRE long. I just, like I said, I'm not trusting going back up through all that. It might do it, but since I only need one, well, really 2 trades, 1 to 2 trades to hit a nice profit target on the day, I just look for the best ones. I just don't like those double clusters in this mess that we got to get back through. Red flags for me. Now, if we can push up to that 11,110-ish area, that'd be perfect. Clean it up a little bit. Because if we push up to that 11,110-ish area and then came back down to this area and give me something to go long off of, that'd be great. Pretty boring day. It's been a couple little moves if you're doing simplicity, but would have had to have either trail pretty tight or just hit a couple targets and get out.
Double cluster NQ.
All right, let's see. Simplicity is flipping short again. Let's see if it wants to run.
Potential OP rejection on NQ.
See if it comes down to this TBS here. We do have a short. Simplicity short here. If we get an LRE before we hit this TBS, this previous TBS, then I may take it short to the TBS. There was too much chop in the middle. There was 6 bars of chop before it went back up. I know normally they'll say that invalidates a TBS because it went sideways for so long. I mean, it invalidates a JFT, sorry. But, I mean, maybe. There is, well, it's picking back up, so I don't know. I mean, it was divergent when it was chopping, but now it's picking back up. Yeah, I don't like all that chop. 6 bars of chop. Let's see what we're trying to do here. Trying to hit that. Okay, now we just hit that TBS, where that TBS was. See what it does here. The 30 tick is trying. Well, it was trying to lay a mini magnet on top of it, but it looks like it may push through. It's a slow pushing simplicity short. If it comes back up to this wall where an LRE would be, I don't think. I mean, if it gives me something really nice off of there, maybe I would go short, but not just a plain pullback. We'll see. Because it hit, this is that area that it tested now, so that might be just a test and then go ahead and push all the way back long. We did have ODD up here at this top on the 10 tick with that mini magnet. It's just too tight right here for me. This may continue down, but it's a little bit too tight, and I'm really close to the end of my trading session, so I don't know if I really wanted to risk that, which is already passed anyways. It would have won, it looks like. Let's see. 91. No, I still wouldn't have gotten a winner yet. Yeah, there's no real reason for me to take that one other than it just pulling back to the solid line.
Potential TX on NQ.
Now it's given a TX short. Yeah, it's sideways now. But I couldn't have that set up too late. See, if this was setting up when it first pulled back to the solid line, I would have maybe considered it more. But it took a while for this to set up here. And even though this is setting up, it still might not bust through this area here. So, just not the cleanest one for me.
Trap orders with exhaustion box on NQ. Potential elevator on NQ.
It's struggling where that previous TBS was, where I made that, put that cyan wall. We also have the gap, yellow gap level right underneath, and a dynamic magnet. So if I had taken this LRE short, would have had to try to get in exactly perfect and probably take a profit at this this wall for the little. I mean, I guess there is 5 points there, but too risky for me. All right, y'all. It is my time to get off of here. Exactly, Dan. Got to select the best of the best. There's no reason to take that one, especially towards the end of my trading session. If it would have lost, then I would have gone out of here like, man, I shouldn't have taken that. So, let's see here. Throw it into Global Sim. And another day of extreme patience, and come back tomorrow. There we go. I'll shut down. Come back tomorrow and let's get some good trades for the rest of y'all. Have patience, trade well, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Take care.